As you've already seen by the title, today we're going to be reviewing one of my favorite energy drinks, G Fuel. Basically, G Fuel is just an energy supplement. You can have as much as you want because you mix it yourself. I have a few tubs back here. These are all the flavors I have right now. We'll go over those later in this video. So in each tub, there's about 40 servings. And if you take 2 scoops a day, that equals about 20 days. I occasionally will take 2 scoops. Most of the time I only take 1 scoop. So with that math, this will last me about 40 days. A little bit of the background on me with G Fuel and how I technically use it. I actually originally discovered it when I used to be really into video games when I was about a middle schooler. However, now I don't use it for any gaming. I don't even game anymore. I use it for pretty much running and work. I actually used to use a product called Run Gum, which is just caffeinated gum. I had to stop using that basically because I wasn't getting enough caffeine out of it, and it was getting expensive for the amount of caffeine I use. Each of these tubs over here, 1 serving is about 140 milligrams to 150. It kind of depends on the flavor. For comparing this to other stuff, a Red Bull, a 12-ounce Red Bull is around like 140 milligrams. That might not be exactly, but it's something around that. Another thing would be like a cup of coffee is around 80 milligrams. So this is like having a cup and a half, 2 cups of coffee. Well, I've pretty much been using G Fuel about 1 to 2 times a day. Typically, I use it in the morning when I'm getting all my work done in the morning. However, I also run collegiately, so I'd usually use a scoop before I went to practice around 3 p.m. I basically use it for work and running around 1 to 2 times a day. I'd say I've been using it consistently for around 2 to 3 years now. I've actually known about it and used it occasionally for about 8 now, which is actually a pretty long time. Now that you kind of know my background and what G Fuel is, let's get into more of my review of it. How well does it work? It works just like any caffeine would. If you drink coffee, it's going to work the exact same. There's not going to really be much difference. I actually don't like coffee, so that's one of the reasons that I do use G Fuel. I think the best part about it is there's so many flavors, which is kind of why they have that big fan following, because if you don't like one flavor, there's probably hundreds of other ones that you could choose from. So I'll show you a couple of mine here real quick. Right here we have Rainbow Sherbet and Love Candy. Some of the flavors sound kind of fruity. However, they're usually pretty good. In fact, I've never really found a G Fuel flavor that I didn't like at all. I like all of them at least somewhat. There are some that I like a lot more than others. However, none have really been terrible. Next we have Tropical Rain and Sour Blue Chug Jug. This one's probably my least favorite flavors just because it's so sour and it's kind of hard to take in the morning. This is probably one of my favorite flavors. We have Blue Ice and Lemonade. This is actually a really old flavor. If anyone knows the gamer Nadeshot, this was his flavor. And then Blue Ice, this is probably a top 3 flavor for me right here. This one's almost gone. This one, it's okay. I mean, it's lemonade. It's gonna taste exactly like lemonade. So if you like lemonade a lot. However, I don't really like to drink lemonade in the morning, so this isn't a big one for me. The classified flavor, now I couldn't really tell you what this tastes like other than almost candy Skittles. It doesn't have an exact flavor obviously because it's called classified. In fact, I just ordered the mystery version in another tub of this, so this is probably my favorite flavor at the moment. Tropical Rain and Blue Ice being my next 2. Of course, I haven't tried every single flavor. You're gonna have to find ones that you're gonna wanna drink in the mornings or whenever you have to drink it, because not a lot of people like to have like lemonade in the mornings or sour stuff. It's just not that great in the mornings. That may just be me. A couple tips for when you're actually making this stuff. Typically I'll use a bottle like this. This one's actually pretty dirty because G Fuel does leave a bunch of residue on the cup. That also leads me to one point. On some of the flavors, it'll leave this pasty feeling in your mouth and it'll be just kind of like a big chunk of G Fuel, I'd say. Pretty nasty. And that is one of the downfalls of G Fuel. It might be because the flavor's too old or something. I really have no idea, but that does happen occasionally. The best way to make it that I found, at least for me, I typically like stronger flavor. So I'll fill the bottle up to around right here, then pour 1 scoop into it, which you're really supposed to fill up like a whole 16-ounce water bottle, and it's gonna be something you're gonna have to test for yourself. Typically, a G Fuel is gonna come with the tub, and then there's gonna be a scoop inside it. The scoops will come with something that goes on the top, kind of a funnel thing. That way when you dump it into a water bottle, it funnels it into the water bottle. However, I found that ripping off the top part of it is much easier to scoop it into a water bottle that doesn't have like a tiny top on it. If you're always using something with a really small top on it, like a regular water bottle, you might want to keep the scoop top on it. And then another one is probably the price. It averages around like $36 plus shipping per tub. That means each scoop is going to be around $1 or more with shipping. The best time to buy is when they have a BOGO offer, which means buy one, get one. I buy all my G Fuel on holidays when they have those type of sales. And I definitely recommend you do too, because it will save you a ton of money and pretty much splits the price per scoop in half. The final thing that's wrong with G Fuel is it gets really addictive Matter of fact, I just had to take 2 weeks off of it because I was getting so reliant on the caffeine. It took me about 7 days to not feel sluggish, and this kind of goes for any type of caffeine, not just G Fuel. So we've basically covered what G Fuel is, just an energy drink that you pre-mix yourself, my background with it, which I use it for both collegiate running and I use it for work as a real estate agent and real estate investor, and also an Amazon seller. We've also covered some of the good things about it, being the great flavors, the variety of flavors, how well it works. We've also covered some of the negatives about it, that being the little scoop piece they usually add, which again, that's my opinion, the pasty feeling in your mouth, and then the expensive price for it, which I also taught you how to pretty much get over all those except for the pasty one. If this is your first time getting G Fuel, I definitely recommend getting a flavor that you already do like. If you like strawberries, definitely get a flavor that's strawberry. Probably don't start off with something crazy because you don't want to waste your money getting a flavor you don't really like. But if you do want to go get some, I definitely recommend you do so. But overall, I found it to be more good than bad. And I hope this video kind of helped you get a perspective on G Fuel. And that'll be it for our G Fuel review. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. I typically go into things on business, money, and my lifestyle. I do a couple reviews here and there just like this on stuff that I use pretty often. And one of those things is of course G Fuel. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next video.